Well, hello, nail friends who like nail art. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing Wicked, which I have yet to see. How sad is that? But I love it, and I love all the stories I hear about it, and I hear it is an amazing show to see. So, I was doing these nails with Madame Glam's, is it Emerald Envy or something of that nature? I will look it up and leave it in the description. And I thought, what can I do with these fabulous nails? And I don't know, they just really struck me as the Wicked Witch of the West. And I was like, So then I got out this fabulous glitter that I have from Amazon. It's another one of those from the pack, the hollow pack. Those of you that watch my videos regularly will remember that I've used this before in other color combinations. So this is the emerald shade. It is a hollow glitter with hexagonal glitters in it. So it's a glitter mix. And I thought it just looked amazing on top of this. I may do some like Christmas nails with this again later because it was so amazing and it just looked so good with this hollow glitter. It's a scattered hollow from Madame Glam. Look at those. Aren't they just beautiful? Like all on their own. Just top coat them and go. That said, we had a little bit of an issue with filming and I'm not going to show you the beginning. I'm sorry. However, I am using Madame Glam's paints today. So yeah, my camera died and the battery died and I didn't realize it. So you didn't get to see me paint the first part, which was such a bummer because that was truly like probably the longest part of the video, but hey, what are you going to do? It is what it is. So what I did was I painted her hat. I used the green color for the background, and then I painted the bottom part of her with Madame Glam's black paint. I did not like her lips, and so you can see that I am taking those off with a little bit of alcohol, and then I will put them back on afterwards. I'm making a right mess. Can you tell? Just a bit. I'm making a right mess. So I'm going to put her lips back in a minute. But first I got to fix her lines here at the bottom. And then we're going to have to fix her at the end. But anyway, so if you're like me and you goof, some things you can do. You can use a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip as long as you have not yet done the curing for this. So these are Madame Glam's, I started to say that, gel paints that you do not have to top coat. I did end up top coating them because I forgot to top coat before I started, but you don't necessarily have to top coat on top of these. I do love these paints though. It's the first time I've played with them and they are very, very opaque and the intensity of the colors is amazing. The gold is just phenomenal. On the second nail, we are going to paint some witchy sock stripes. So again, I'm going in with the black and I'm going to paint one stripe after another right down the nail, and that is going to be our witchy stocking. So the Madame Glam paints are very thick and they paint really well on when you're using gel polishes. I think you could probably thin them down a little. I haven't experimented with that yet. I might try to in one of the other videos. I think they might also work well on, actually I know they work well on blooming gel because I used them in blooming gel. If you haven't checked out my stone nails yet, go check those out. I will try to link those somewhere here or in the description. Those are also amazing nails. But I used the gel paint in the blooming gel, and that worked really, really well because it didn't bloom quite as fast as the regular gel polish, which was nice because it gave me a little more control. So as you're watching me paint stripes, you can think about how to use gel paints from Madame Glam in blooming gel. It was really quite fun. So with the stripes, you just want to make sure that they're spaced fairly equally apart and that your lines are crisp at the edges. You don't want to have a fuzzy line at the edge. All right, I cured this one for 60 seconds and now I'm taking it back out. And what I'm going to do is just take the green, emerald green gel polish. And I'm just going to touch up where I had kind of messed up the lips and took them off, and then I'm going to touch them back up. So if you ever mess up, that's another good thing to know. If you ever mess up, you can always touch it up with just another little spot of the gel polish paint. So don't panic. Sometimes people panic. I can't do art because I'm going to mess it up. There's always a fix. I promise there's always a fix. Okay, what are we doing on nail 3? We are going to be writing Wicked in gold. This gold is amazing. It looks like you literally just poured, like, I don't know, gold's paint and glitter together and stirred it up, and it's fabulous. It's just fabulous. I think you can't see me because I went off screen. Sorry. I'm coming back, I promise. I will be coming back in a second. Here we go. So I'm going to start by doing the letters in gold, and then I'm going to be outlining them after that with the black polish. Not polish, paint, sorry. Wicked is a fairly long word. So what I did is I scattered the letters. You can see I'll do it in a second. I'm going to go like side to side, especially because I was working on a stiletto nail. So stiletto nails, the one thing I don't like about them is they don't give you as much space, and you have to really think about your lettering before you start writing words if you're going to do it freehand. If you're stamping, then that's obviously different. You can get some pretty tiny writing with stamping. There you go. So quickly down the nail, that is Wicked. The other nice thing I will say about the Madame Glam paints is that they do stay in place, so they don't ooze out anywhere. Okay, so I cured that. I just took the curing time out so you didn't have to watch it. And now I'm outlining with the black. So I'm just touching it here and there. I'm not trying to actually outline the entire letter because it's going to get goopy and goppy and you won't be able to read it. So I'm just being selective about the places I'm putting the black to accent the letters enough that they stand out, because that green is truly a very rich dark green, which again I adore. But when you're working on top of it, you need something to make it stand out. In retrospect, I might have used the white instead of the black if I were doing something different. But because we were doing black and green primarily, I didn't want to get crazy and start adding, like 5 different colors to the nails. I'm just giving the gold another quick stir. Although it doesn't really settle too much, so you don't have to worry too much. On this nail, we're going to do a freehand moon, a crescent moon. Because, what's a witch without her moon? Gotta have the moon. And when we get to it in a minute, we are going to be adding some fabulous westerly wind onto the last nail. We're going to be using a Kelli Marissa stamping plate for that one. These are wicked fun. Haha. Do you get the pun? It's terrible. It's so terrible. You can tell me I'm terrible in the comments. Yeah. So, and then I'm adding a little star at the bottom right here, which I'm actually going to go over in a minute and add some stars on the whole nail, so it doesn't even matter. So the one thing I would have changed about how I did this is I wasn't thinking I was going to put stars on this nail. And then I decided at the last minute to stamp stars on the nail. Had I thought about it, I would have stamped the stars first and then done the moon on top. But, que sera, it is what it is. This was a completely experimental set where I just flipped on the camera, had no idea what I was going to do, and went, let's just go for it. So there you have it. This was interesting. So I decided to try to use the stamping paint from Madame Glam to stamp on the nail. So not only does it work with blooming gel, but hey, guess what? It also works on this. The only thing that made me go back over this pinky nail is the fact that you couldn't really see the stars very well. And that had nothing to do with the polish. It had the paint. It had everything to do with the darkness of the green. The green was just so intense that it kind of absorbed the gold paint. So I did go back over it. Oh, grabbed the wrong one. And I decided to add the wind after. So this is me adding black stars to the green. You don't really see them intensely. They're just kind of there to add some texture. So even when you see the final picture of this one, you're going to notice that it's not super intense, and that is completely fine. I just pulled Wicked out of the light and I traded it with the other one that I had. I'm going to go in and use this same stamping plate. This is the Kelli Marissa, I think it's the Celestial plate. I can't talk. And I'm going to use that wind stamp right next to it to go over that pinky stiletto. And then we are going to be top coating and we are going to be done. It's that fast. So it did take me a few minutes to draw on the witch and do the, straight lines for the stockings. But overall, this is a relatively quick design and a relatively fast look for a client who maybe is going to the theater or just really likes Halloween or really loves Wicked. Any of those things. Or the Wizard of Oz, for that matter. Doesn't that look like the Emerald City? Oh, God. That's what I should have done, right? I should have done something with the Emerald City. Could be a future thing. I'm going to put that last nail back on because I've cured that one I flash cured it for 30 seconds. Now we're going to top coat, which I will not bore you with all the top coating. You'll watch me top coat the first one or two, and then we are going to go to the final cut where you can look at all of the nails up close. I did lighten this up, so this green is actually a little darker than it looks on the camera right now because I had to lighten it so that you could see what I was actually painting. It looks really good in the picture, the photograph, but if I had left it for the video, it would have been difficult to see. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and you were able to understand how I got to where I got to with this, and it inspired you to do your own version of Wicked. Have a great evening, day, morning, wherever you are in your world, and I will see you next week. Enjoy!